Good evening, all you late nighters tonight. I assume that there might not be very many of you hanging around that class tomorrow. We only have 50 minutes left to cover the rest of gender and aging. Not enough time. So, what I wanted to do real quick was to go over the study guide topics about the end of chapter 10 on aging. There's about 5 questions on the exam about aging. So I wanted to make sure that we go over that. Now, let me get my study guide. Let me stick it over here. Gotta get fixed up. I'm going to try to do as much as I can tomorrow on gender in class. And then when we run out of time, like we always do, I will come home, do lecture on live stream, and you'll have it. And then, of course, go over the study guide for gender, that part. A long day. All right. So let's see. For starters, I got Post-it notes, I got notes, I got study guides, I got the test open, I got the PowerPoints open. Let's see what we got going on. All right. Aging in a global perspective. All right, to start off with, here's a little tap. The idea of aging is socially constructed. What? Y'all remember how I am a severe social constructivist, which means we believe most things, everything, is socially learned, recreated by society, by humans. Oh, look there. That little Bossy McGee and Gimpy Goo. Bousy. She's a baby. All right, socially constructed, which means basically you're not born with it, or there are no genetics for it. It is created by other people. And it's already probably set in stone when you get here, and it'll probably be here when you leave. Age. So how is age socially constructed? Well, where'd my note go? Oh, here it is. The reason why you can say that age is socially constructed is because it is based on cultural attitudes rooted in the society in which it's found. As in, each culture or society has their own way of viewing age. Each society decides what is old. What is old? As in, what do y'all think? I know when I was 18 years old, and somebody were to ask me, how old is old? I said 40. I was like, that's old. Whoa, that's old. Now that I am 40, I'm like, dude, I've got like 30 more years to go. That's like my whole lifetime again. So 40 is not that old. But anyway, it depends on the society. Like if the lifespan or the lifespan of the average individual in that culture was 27, then old would be like 20. You see? Socially constructed. So let's see, based on cultural attitudes. Yeah, and what do we think is young? Those youngins, them young kids. Like, I know all of y'all are adults. Most of y'all are at least 18 or older. Some of you are 17. But supposedly when you turn 18, you're an adult. So I teach adult students. You know how many times I actually refer to my students as them kids? Them kids. Straight up, I don't feel like I'm, y'all are that young. But sometimes, kind of So it's socially created based on the society in which you found. Youthfulness is very important in the U.S. society. You can see that in the rate of plastic surgery. Everybody trying to look younger. 27-year-old women wanting Botox. Um, Youthfulness is a value, and we think old age is you know detrimental. It's horrible. Might be the best times of your life. You don't know. Anyway, age is socially constructed. So literally, I mean, the main way to think about that is there's a tribe in the middle of South America where the oldest person is age 25. So old to them would be 20. In the U.S., we got a bunch of women living to be in 80. So what is old? We'll say, 70? So it differs. There's a variation between societies on what old means. That's the way you can tell age is socially constructed. All right. Number 2, the longest lifespan, as in which country in the world has the longest lifespan? Japan, where their largest percentage of people fall into the age category of 65 and older. They got a whole bunch of old people up there. If 65 and older means old. All right. Ageism, that's under the symbolic interactionist perspective. Ageism is basically discrimination based on age. Prejudice and discrimination directed against people because of their age. Let's see if we got some examples. No, I can give you some off the top of my head. Here we go. We have a job opening, and there's a 25-year-old male that just graduated from college, has no work experience. He's going for the job. Now, on the other hand, we've got a 50-year-old male that's got 30 years job work experience, no college degree, but knows what he's doing. A lot of times they will hire the younger one, because the older one ain't going to last as long, right? Huh? But the younger one has no work experience. Would you rather have somebody with work experience and wisdom come with age, or young, has a future, college educated? Anyway, ageism would be discriminating against somebody because of their age. Usually, older people don't get jobs because of their age. That's ageism. All right. The social value of the elderly decreased with industrialization. All right. This is what went down. All right. Before industrialization, we was all living on farms way out in the country, making our own food, our own clothes, our own weapons, our own houses. It was a different type of life. And we valued old people to tell us how to live. Like we looked up to old people to be like, how do we get through? How do we survive this winter? You've been through them. Can you give us some advice? All right. Industrialization came along, as in factories were built, machines. Instead of working on the farm, you sold your labor for wages out in the city. This decreased the social value of the elderly. For example, like today, instead of, now some of y'all probably still do this. I would if my grandma was alive. Nanny was good. All right. If you needed help with something, if you needed advice, would you go to your grandparents or would you go to Google? Using .edu.org, not Wikipedia. But no, with our technology today, if we want to know something, we're going to go to Google, and research it instead of going to our grandparents and asking them, what do they think? And that's the social value of the elderly decreased since industrialization. All right, disengagement theory. That's under the functionalist perspective. All right. Basically, it says retirement is a mutually beneficial agreement between two parts of society, the old and the young. So, disengagement theory basically is if, let's see, how do the young people get the old people to quit their jobs and go home so the young people can get their jobs? By handing them retirement. Disengagement theory. And what happens is, yes, old people do retire and leave those jobs, but they don't disengage. They just trade their work role for another role in life. Like taking cruises. I don't know. All right, what's next? The last one, age and poverty. What do we need to know about age and poverty? Where's my little note? I didn't even write it down. All right, well, hang on. Let me check it out on right here, and I'll let y'all know what the last one means. Let me look on here. All right, so we know we got a whole bunch of old people in the United States. Japan's got the longest lifespan with 83.6 years. Yeah, these PowerPoints are going to give you exactly what you need. All right. I didn't see anything about age and poverty. Let me look one more time. All right. Well, I just made that last one up on the study guide, I guess, just to fool y'all. Because I really do add extra terms on the study guide to, I don't want to give you all the straight answers. So, but it's stuff that I think you need to learn. All right. Well, that's all that I have for aging. In case we don't get to it tomorrow, we won't. We got gender pay gap tomorrow. We ain't never getting out of class. I'm kidding. I'm going to streamline it. I have my plans. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. And I may be back to do some more gender. May not. Good night. Peace out.